Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much for joining me here. Hope we're having a fantastic day. Quick look at Chainlink, double checking a couple of key factors here. This is a request from one of our community members. Let me double check that here. See your request. Stingray Actual. Thank you very much for the request. Deeply appreciate that. Anyone who's part of our community can kind of jump in there and make those if you'd like. Either way, what we want to look at here, of course, is a couple of important stuff. We're going to start with liquidation data too, but this descending trend breakthrough is extremely important. We have a little bit of a bullish backtest of that descending trend line, and there's a handful of other little contributing factors here too. So I'm not going to say like blindly at this point that I'm bullish on Chainlink. I just want to say that most altcoins in this kind of situation or this that are forming this kind of pattern, they generally are. So let's just double check and make sure that's the case first. We look at liquidation, we want to recognize quickly to note here that there's not a lot above and below the price. Most shorts got destroyed between 1140 and 1170. We do have some late shorts here as per usual at about 1180 upwards about 1250. Okay, so that's maybe half to $750 million between between 1180 and 1250. Okay, so just kind of throwing it out there, give you some perspective there. And when we look at the current price here, we can kind of double check and kind of make sure we're on the right side of tracks here. So first things first, we look at the daily time frame to recognize kind of where we're at here. We go ahead and what I'll do is I'll post a playout chart here on our Twitter, Telegram, and Discord. So if you are not familiar, perhaps you're new to the channel, every time I analyze a coin, I kind of give you my 2 cents on where I think it's going to go next. So that's all available there for you. Check it out. But the whole point of me mentioning that is that this playout chart here that we're looking at or starting to create, we're double testing that 0.618 fib level. Now, I know it seems kind of like, oh, that's an obvious double top. We're going to pull back. Yes, that's potential. Double tops have good potential for fulfilling itself. But if there's other contributing factors present, that is null and void. Some people seem to think that trading on candlestick patterns is like the only way to go. Or Elliott wave, for example. That one just kind of makes me laugh sometimes when that's all people use. If you don't use other contributing factors, you're going to be putting yourself at a very, very significant disadvantage, okay? And the reason why I mention that is just because a lot of folks, unfortunately, will just kind of get tunnel vision. They convince themselves to take a trade, and it doesn't work out favorably. Convince yourself not to take a trade. That's what we're going to do here, okay? Having said that, this is a reason potentially not to trade, right? With that double top forming. Okay, now 0.618 fib level, generally very strong as a resistance. However, we're above the 20 and the 50-day SMA. That's a positive contributing factor. We're over 50 on the RSI, which is very nice. Same thing here with stochastic swinging up, and money flow index is quite high. While it's tapering off, that makes sense considering we have this resistance range. We still have tremendous momentum, and everything is all well and good. So we've got like 9 out of 10 reasons here on the daily time frame that a long position is much more viable than a short. Okay. Take a look at the 4 hour. Is that a similar scenario? Well, we're above all 4 moving averages. That's a very, very positive sign. We are honoring our ascending trend here by establishing higher highs and higher lows. Stochastic's trying to swing up. We're over 50 on the RSI. Money flow index is pulling back. Most 4 hours are doing that right now. We saw this, retracement essentially here recently. It wasn't super significant, maybe about a 4% correction there when the price pulled back. Again, it's that normal rejection off of that resistance level. We can see MACD is diverging here and trend strength index is pulling back. So this is more so a neutral time frame here. What I mean by that is a lot of momentous indicators are telling us we have further downside potential. The support levels based on trend lines, etc., they're telling us we're on the right side of tracks and we're in good shape to see the price go up. I would much rather favor that than an oscillator that's telling us the price is going to go down. So that's me personally. Momentum is one thing, but nowadays, if you haven't noticed, momentous plays, it's hard to pick up on when the price is going to reverse. The market's been fairly tricky. Right now is a perfect place to try to get into trades because you can see an obvious distinction between altcoins and Bitcoin. Bitcoin's going sideways, alts are going up. That's when you get in. All right, so again, just throwing it out there. Don't blindly jump into a long, but there are still more favorable signs here telling us the price should go up. 4 hour time frame looks okay, not fantastic. Ichimoku cloud on the hourly is a mess. We are squeezing out, we're compressing. There's no reason to take a long position based on this metric alone. We don't trade based on one thing, however. Ever since we've been in this range, we're going to zoom out a little bit. Let's see where our point of control is. If it's kind of closer to the price action, it might be a different story. It looks like it's right there at about 1060. So that's a ways away. Having said that specifically, our secondary most amount of volume is just below the price action at 1130. So we have some support in the current range. Again, more beneficial than disadvantageous, but I don't like it. When we get the price action kind of squeezed in the way that it is right now, it's not fantastic. It's not something I like to trade into. We take a look at our TPO for today. We can see there's probably the most amount of volume here today in the 1130 range. It's exactly where the price action is at right now. So you can see the bulls and the bears are kind of fighting it out today. So if we close below 1130 today, I would say we're probably more likely to find further downside. If we close above that, specifically 1150 or higher, then I would say that a long position would make more sense because we'd still be establishing higher highs and higher lows at that point, and that would be favorable. But for right now, the trend is tentatively down, right? We're establishing lower highs and so far a lower low, right? So I don't generally like to trade into that, even though this local low here is higher than the previous low. So there's some benefits. Either way you look at it, macro's looking bullish. 4-hour time frame, hourly time frame, it's transitioning and not really telling us that it's a really great situation at all. So I would be very careful and cautious taking a trade of this coin right now. But if we do break free from this 1150 range, maybe we get closer to retesting 1170, that would be a case in point where you'd want to probably get in. Because then it's probably going to run and take off and try to sweep this upper level liquidation upwards of 1250. So I would say a closure at 1150 or higher today would be a very solid consideration for a long. Just recognize this is a weekend, and weekends have a tendency of being kind of ugly when it comes to volume and volatility. So just know that. But if Bitcoin can maintain its range and essentially break free from this channel that's creating, there's a strong chance we're going to see further upside. This is a bullish continuation type of situation. Once again, weekend still not the best data, but it's relevant nonetheless. We are seeing low volume though, and that's just something you generally want to try to avoid trading into. So not recommending trading Bitcoin this weekend. I would say alts to the upside makes a lot more sense. All right, folks, thanks again for watching. I'll post our playout chart on Twitter, Telegram, and Discord. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Don't forget to like the video, and we'll see you in tomorrow's video. Take care. Bye-bye.